Maria, thank you. An art dedication for healthcare workers was held in Springfield today. That's just one of the stops we make as Western Mass News goes town by town. At today's event, Baystate Health dedicated an original mosaic of handcrafted sculptural tiles by New England artist Natalie Blake to Baystate Health employees across the region in recognition of their courage during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now to Longmeadow, where the farmers market at the Longmeadow shops is returning for another season. The market will be open every Thursday through October 26th. Every week, customers can find an assortment of locally grown fruits and veggies, baked goods, and more. We'll be right back.